This is no longer just a regional conflict. This is a global tipping point. A single decision, a single blockade, and now the world's most important oil route is under threat. The question is no longer if things will escalate, but how far this war will go. Hello and welcome. We're coming to you from Doha, where tensions surrounding the war between the United States, Israel, and Iran are reaching a dangerous new level. Today marks day 45 of this escalating conflict, and in the next few minutes, we're going to break down everything you need to know, from military threats to global oil shocks to the rising risk of a wider war. The biggest development today is this. The United States has officially launched a naval blockade targeting Iranian ports. After failed peace talks, Donald Trump has taken a bold and highly risky step. Any vessel heading to or from Iranian ports may now be intercepted, diverted, or even seized. And in a dramatic warning, Trump declared, if any Iranian ships come close to our blockade, they will be immediately eliminated. This is not just diplomacy anymore. This is a direct military threat. Iran, meanwhile, has responded by calling the blockade maritime piracy, and they've made it clear they are ready to retaliate. To understand why this is so dangerous, you need to understand one place, the Strait of Hormuz. This narrow stretch of water connects the Persian Gulf to the rest of the world, and it's not just important, it's critical. Around 20% of the world's oil passes through here. Massive amounts of natural gas, jet fuel, and fertilizers also move through this route. If this corridor is disrupted, the entire global economy feels the impact. And right now, shipping traffic is slowing, tankers are hesitating, and uncertainty is spreading. So what is the U.S. trying to do? Simply put, the U.S. wants to cut off Iran's oil revenue. Since the war began, Iran has still managed to export around 1.5 million barrels of oil per day, earning roughly $130 million daily. That money fuels its economy, its military, and its ability to continue the conflict. By blocking exports, the U.S. hopes to force Iran back to the negotiating table. But there's a problem. Most of Iran's oil, nearly 90%, goes to China. So now, the blockade isn't just about Iran, it's also about China. China is quietly becoming one of the most important players in this crisis. Why? Because China relies heavily on Iranian oil, and Iran relies heavily on China as its biggest customer. This creates a dangerous dilemma. If the U.S. stops oil shipments, will it intercept Chinese tankers? If that happens, this conflict could escalate into something much bigger, a direct confrontation between two global superpowers. And that's why many analysts believe this blockade is not just pressure on Iran, it's also a message to China. Here's where things get truly dangerous. Iran doesn't need a massive navy to fight back. Instead, it uses fast attack boats, drones, hidden missile systems. Even a small attack could damage oil tankers, block shipping lanes, or trigger panic in global markets. And in a place as narrow as the Strait of Hormuz, it doesn't take much to cause chaos. A single strike, a single explosion, and suddenly the entire route becomes too dangerous to use. The economic consequences are already being felt. Oil prices have surged past $100 per barrel, and analysts warn if this blockade continues, prices could go much higher. But it's not just oil. This route also carries fertilizers, industrial chemicals, and energy supplies. If these are disrupted, we could see rising food prices, supply shortages, and economic instability worldwide. In short, this isn't just a war problem, it's a global crisis. Surprisingly, financial markets haven't completely collapsed. Why? Because many investors believe this situation might still be temporary, or that a diplomatic solution could emerge. There's also something called headline fatigue. After weeks of intense news, markets are becoming less reactive to each new development. But make no mistake, all it takes is one incident, one miscalculation, and everything could change overnight. While military tensions rise, diplomacy continues behind the scenes. Leaders from Israel and Lebanon are preparing for rare direct talks. Meanwhile, Pope Leo has spoken out strongly against the war. He emphasized the need for peace, the importance of dialogue, and the human cost of ongoing conflict. His comments come after a public clash with Donald Trump, highlighting just how divided global leadership has become. Israel is also playing a key role in this conflict. Prime Minister Netanyahu has openly supported the U.S. blockade. At the same time, Israeli forces are operating deeper into southern Lebanon. Tensions with Hezbollah remain high, and the risk of a second front continues to grow. Despite upcoming talks, there is little expectation of an immediate ceasefire. So what will Iran do next? Experts say Iran has three main options: do nothing and wait for the U.S. to back down, directly confront U.S. forces risking full-scale war, or target regional assets such as ports or oil facilities. Each option carries serious consequences, and none of them are easy. This is now a test of endurance. Can Iran withstand economic pressure, or will the global system break first? Right now, the world is standing on a knife's edge. A blockade in one region is sending shockwaves across the entire planet. The stakes couldn't be higher: global energy supply, economic stability, and the risk of a much larger war. Everything now depends on what happens next. Will diplomacy prevail, or will this crisis spiral out of control? This is not just another headline. This is a moment that could reshape the global order, and we'll be here to bring you every update as it unfolds.